You ever notice how some stories seem to tap you on the shoulder long before you realize they meant for you? That is exactly how it felt the moment I first brushed my fingers against the edges of this strange post, aged and humming with a faint warmth that shouldn't have been there. It looked harmless at first, yet something about it whispered that if I kept going, nothing in my world would stay the same. And maybe that's why you're here. Maybe you felt it too, that quiet tug in your chest, the one that tells you there's more to reality than the version we've been taught to accept. So let me show you what I saw. Let me take you to the place on the postcard in alternate Victorian era that never existed. And somehow always did. The postcard that shouldn't exist, the front of it, showed a city I recognized but couldn't name. Brass towers rising like metallic trees, balloons drifting through smoky skies, and clockwork railways cutting across narrow stone bridges. Everything glowed in warm copper light, the kind that feels nostalgic even if you've never seen it before. But the most unsettling part wasn't the details. It was the date scratched onto the corner. London, 1874, before Christ's 3000 commemoration. That made no sense. Not historically. Not logically, not in any timeline we know, unless this wasn't our Victorian era, unless this postcard had slipped from a world where history wound itself differently, where steam never died, where gears and pistons didn't just shape machines. They shaped society, destiny, and every breath people took. A city powered by brass and ambition. Imagine stepping into the streets of this alternate London. The first thing you'd notice is the sound. Not the chaotic roar you might expect, but a deep, resonant harmony, engines humming, gears turning, steam valves sighing like living creatures. It feels alive, as if the city itself is breathing around you. People in tailored coats walk with purpose. Monocles gleam with holographic overlays. Every street lamp is a miniature power station, and looming overhead, coiling through the sky like mechanical serpents, are the Skyline's railways suspended by magnetic anchors that drag brass trains through the clouds. You can almost hear the whistle now. You can almost feel the vibration beneath your feet. But here's where things get strange. Because the postcard didn't just show a city thriving with incredible inventions, it showed an underlying tension, like a city holding its breath before a revelation, the discovery that split a world in two. In this timeline, everything changed the moment scientists uncovered something they called chronoether, a rare form of energy buried beneath ancient lands older than any empire, even those from before Christo. Chronoether didn't just power machines. It influenced time, memory, possibility. Those who learned how to harness it could glimpse alternate outcomes, alternate futures, alternate histories. Some engineers built devices capable of reading fragments of what could have happened rather than what did. But with every discovery, the city drifted further from stability. And maybe you already feel it, that quiet dread that something extraordinary always comes with a cost. Some believed chronoether was a gift. Others thought it was a threat, and a few feared it would eventually tear the fabric of their world apart. No one knew which side was right, but the postcard? It hinted that they were all wrong in ways far more unsettling. A quick breath. Just between us, let me pause for a heartbeat and ask you something. Have you ever looked at an old photograph or object and felt, for no reason at all, that it remembered you? That's the feeling this postcard gives, a sense that it's not just showing you something, it's recognizing you. All right, come with me a little further. The story deepens. The clockmaker, who went missing, on the back of the postcard there was handwriting, elegant, rushed, and slightly smeared from what looked like water or tears. It read, "If you're reading this, it means the engine succeeded. We didn't expect the cost. Find the last clockmaker before the sky fractures." There was no signature, just a symbol, a gear split in half. In this alternate Victorian world, the last clockmaker wasn't just an artisan, he was the only person who understood the full power of chronoether. Rumor had it he built the first device capable of stabilizing the fluctuations between time. But after testing it, he vanished. Some say he stepped into another year by accident. Others believe he was eliminated by those who feared the consequences of his discovery. And a few think he escaped into the very postcard that now sits in your hands. A city on the edge. As the years passed, the city spiraled into two factions. The forge-bound, who believed innovation must continue at all costs, even if it meant risking temporal instability. And the timekeepers, who sought to destroy all chronoether technology before the world collapsed under its own progress. The postcard shows traces of their conflict: burnt skies, unfinished towers, and a crack in the horizon, like a wound in reality itself. I know you feel it, that tugging, unsettling sensation in your chest, the same one I felt. Because maybe, just maybe, this postcard wasn't meant to warn the people of its own world. Maybe it was meant to warn us. Why you were meant to see this. If an alternate Victorian era really discovered energy capable of bending time and shaping history, who's to say the effects stayed confined to their world? What if in the moment their timeline destabilized, fragments splintered across realities, slipping into our world as postcards, memories, déjà vu, or inventions humanity accidentally discovered too early? And what if you're holding one of those fragments right now? What if the reason it found you is because you play a role they couldn't T? Because the last line written on the postcard wasn't a warning. It was a request. Don't let our mistake become yours. And suddenly the weight of the object makes sense. It's a message, a memory, a possibility, a reminder that even the smallest choices can create an entire world's or end them. Before you leave this world behind, if this story moved something inside you, if you felt the sparks of curiosity, wonder, or that eerie sense of familiarity, then don't let this moment fade like an ordinary video on the internet. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next postcard. Leave a like so the algorithm knows this world deserves to be explored. And share this with someone who still believes reality might be bigger than what we see. Because every view, every comment, every share opens another door to another world. And trust me, you're going to want to see what waits behind the next postcard.